Hey everyone, welcome back to the Stormies and our reveal of the finalists. Congratulations to all of you who made it. We're so thrilled that you are a part of this, that you submitted your images, and I'm so excited for you to see if you made it. To those that did, well done. To those that didn't, thank you for submitting. Please keep trying. Get out there this year. Maybe you are already. Kick some butt and come back next year and let's do it again. Critiques were fun. We had some surprise guests I hope you enjoy. Unfortunately, Linda was under the weather and couldn't join us for the finalists review, so we all hope she's getting better. And before we jump in, I just wanted to mention one more time our sponsors, Tempest Weather Flow. They donated 2 of them. You can go get one right now for a discount and support our sponsor there, Imagecraft, who supplies the metal prints for our winners. They are based here in Phoenix and my favorite printer, and I love them so much, so thank them for being a part of that. To Extreme Tornado Tours and Nick Dreischman, he helps with the tornado critique, and he supplies part of the award for the Tornado Photo of the Year. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate your friendship and being a part of our contest. And to Rich with Lightning Trigger 4, thanks for once again donating the best lightning trigger out there. So without further ado, here are the finalists. Hopefully we can get this done in 20 minutes. We'll see if we can do. We're all so long-winded. We love to talk. So, all right. So here we are doing Photographer of the Year, the finalists, the top 6. Thank Mike Meswell for joining us today. It's nice to have you back. Missed your face, missed your thoughts and opinions on this. All right, we'll jump right into our first photographer and increase the size of these images. A lovely kind of overall year with lightning and, the photo we just talked about. Photo of the year and some great lightning, great colors, nice compositions throughout, and one of the nicer portfolios we saw this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are good storm structures, there are good lightnings, and catch the storms at great point of the day at sunset, almost every shot. So it's when the light is best. So appreciate it. So
really, really nice portfolio. They got some good diversity there. Storms, they've got lightning, they got sunsets, they got lightning and sunsets and lightning.
And rainbows and cows.
One thing that screams out to me, just something that's curious, like to obviously when you're looking at people's portfolios, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 of those images all are compositionally the same. Look at where the horizon line is, and everything's centered. So those top 4, number 6, number 8, number 9, all of those are composed exactly the same. So something to kind of think about in the future when you're submitting like a portfolio is have diversity, not only through the subject, but through the compositions as well. That's going to stand out a little bit more powerfully.
Yeah, agree. That's interesting to note. It also, on the other side, is nice because there is consistency throughout, and you can tell, the same photographer shot this, that they all kind of go together, which, some portfolios that were submitted sometimes were like, hey, this doesn't even look like maybe it's the same photographer for sure. So that part does give some cohesion, which is good to have. All right, we'll move on to the next one. Another shot of that LP. This is the one that we also talked about with the house and photo of the year. The photographer just had some nice lighting, and I like. I've been a big fan of the way this person edits their pictures. It's very tastefully done. It's not overdone. There's some definitely little quibbles with some like haloing that can be worked on, but a lot of the colors and tone of these images. I can tell it comes from this person. I can tell it's not overdone, and there's some kind of softness and I don't know, like moodiness to this person's shots where you kind of feel they're all very cohesive. I think the only little things that we were talking about before was maybe just unfortunate was that you definitely want to have variety in your portfolio. And so when this is the same, LP, so kind of just, 30 minutes apart maybe. And this house is in 2 shots, and it looks more like this one was edited more than this shot. So not really sure necessarily what happened there, but I know, as all of us, a lot of us do this for a living. Dennis comes out all the time, but other people can't chase that much. And so when you're out for a few days and, and maybe you're limited in that, and this is still what you got, is spectacular. So great year, and congrats on making the top 6.
Yeah, I think you nailed it, Mike, right there. The only thing that I have is like, hey, you've got 10 images to submit.
Yep.
Each one should be different, and that 2, 3, 4, 5, they're same storm, same relative scene.
Yeah.
So but I do like the different tonalities. They've got warm tones, cool tones, they've got drama, they've got a lot going on in the portfolio, but use those when you have 10 images as a selection. Use them wisely, and don't kind of reuse the same scene twice.
Yep, agree. All right, we'll go on to the next one. This photographer obviously they got around. They were looks like they were in the desert. They saw Morton, and I was there and didn't really see that, but well, I didn't see it that great. I was a little dusty, a little too far away. But this person had a great year. They obviously put in a ton of work to get around. Dennis, what about you for this one? What do you think?
Yeah, the diversity here is great. So we have some great motherships, updrafts, lightning shots, and outflowish stuff, lightning at sunset, and so we have a lot to talk about here. So very great diversity, but what I wish, as Mike said earlier, so maybe a bit more. The foreground is just kind of the same in some pictures, but I appreciate much the diversity of the sky, of the scenery in the sky. So
I think what you said, Dennis, too, is like the diversity here. Like, I think it's very similar throughout each frame. And Mike, can we click on number 8 real fast? I'm just curious on something real fast. So okay, so I couldn't tell if that was the way that was cropped, what was going on there. So you got a landing point shot there. I think for me, diversity here is key. And let's go back to the grid real quick. It's I don't know. It looks like they all feel the same in a way. So I don't know why that's feeling that way right now, but they all kind of feel the same. So just a little bit more diversity, maybe compositional diversity, tonality diversity. You really want that portfolio to stand out, say, this is the best that I've got here.
Yeah, and I do think this photographer had some bangers just in general, like this lightning bolt out in front of this either outflowy structure, outflowy supercell, just a spectacular bolt. This was one of my favorite shots when I first saw it. I think it's when you zoom in, it's a little bit soft, and I don't know if it's the size of the photo I got, or if just unfortunately they weren't able to get it. It looks like they probably just had it a little out of focus. Those are the little things to just work on, because this composition and storm is about as perfect as you can get, even if you don't have a lot of foreground here. I absolutely love this image to death, if it was perfectly kind of sharp and all that, but it is well framed, well shot. The composition is just wonderful. So
the scale on that's awesome.
So all right, congrats. We're gonna go on to the next one, and Mike, I'm gonna go ahead and let you just talk about this one if you want.
So here we have storms. I think this set looks awesome, and this is kind of what I'm talking about. Diversity. You've got foreground, you've got some wildlife, you got scale, you've got dusty scenes, you got sunsetty scenes. There's a lot of diversity going on in here, and I like too. If you go back real fast on that last shot, I like that not a lot of photographers will include shots like this where you don't have that full like ground contact really with that big powerful CG. So I like this. This is cool. This is a shot that makes you kind of scratch your head and think for a second, rather than, oh, hey, it's another lightning bolt.
Yep. Good point.
Scrolling through, if we go back real fast to the grid view, the one thing that I did notice is they used 2 of the same scenes twice again. So that church,
4 and 5.
Yeah, 4 and 5, and then it looks like 1 and 3 both have the same, maybe the same church. Maybe not.
I don't know. I don't think it's the same church. There's leaves on those. There's leaves on those trees, and these don't have any.
Oh
leaves.
yeah, the steeples. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
good call. So yeah, that works. But like 4 and 5 are definitely the same storm. We all know that. I think we're all still picking dust out of our orifices from that storm.
Not Dennis though. He was not there. So sorry.
Dennis is there in spirit.
Didn't want to bring that up again, but
I just arrived on that day in Denver.
Oh geez, almost made it, man. Almost. So yeah, I think once again, you have 10 images to really show your best work. Make sure it's 10 different scenes or 10 different storms. But I mean, this one, I think some really great frames, and I like that you can see the photographers thinking differently for the most part through each moment.
Well, and the one thing I really appreciated was that the editing, especially on kind of this storm, because this was a very tough storm to shoot. A lot of us were there, and we've seen a lot of pictures of it. A lot of people, because it was so dusty, worked really hard on dehaze or clarity to try to bring out, this monster wedge tornado in there. And I really appreciate that this photographer kind of felt the restraint to not go that far. And that shows a lot, because even on my own photo, I wanted to do that. And it's kind of one of those things that when you do that, it can really take it to a place that doesn't look completely right and looks a little funky. And so I appreciate that kind of leaving it more natural.
And I think we all immediately after we got back that day were like, DH 100%.
Yeah, where is it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, where is it? Yeah, dude, I was right there with you. I think keeping it more natural, and sometimes it is frustrating when you have that much dust. Last year was Dust Bowl, 2022. It felt like it was very hard at times to see the structure, and we all know that the storm had beautiful structure to it. So I like how they probably used some sort of mid-tone contrast to reveal a bit more in the storm, but they didn't overdo it. And I kind of like that they embrace the dustiness of it. Once again, it tells a story, it brings an environment into the photo. It's not just like, oh, here's a crisp shot of the supercell.
Agree. All right, 2 more. This person, I thought this was about the best, kind of variety that you would see. There are, a couple shots where it's like, oh, there's 2 dust storms in there, and a few shots with lightning and epic landing points. But they've got the Badlands shot in here, which was obviously very unique. They had fire tornadoes, and then even a simpler shot where it's just a rainbow and a beautiful like light on the ground, which is just, I don't know. There's something, I don't know what it is about something like this, but this is so like pleasing to me to see something like this. So from a great tornado to a beautiful structure and dust storms, and even this one at night, there's something, you just on the edge of the road. Obviously light trails here, but there's something really with the saguaro and the dust and the darkness and the lightning I just really like this one. So this photographer had a great year.
Yeah, absolutely. Just please click on the number 7.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. Good.
The lightning bolt on this one is still. This one is great. Yeah.
Mike, were you out in Arizona on July 23rd?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I think your mic's off. Yes.
Yeah,
and I saw this bolt from a distance as I was driving.
No.
And the funny thing is, though, that Chick-fil-A that I had in my lap was still worth missing this bolt for. It was
Chick-fil-A is always
no, man. I think if we go back real fast to the grid view, man, this is stellar. This is for lack of better words, you can insert the automated beep after, but this is a hell of a season. I mean, great diversity, beautiful tornado, high contrast tornado, landscape shot with the Badlands and the supercell. You've got, I mean, okay, I was watching your live stream on this one screaming. So enough said on that shot. I think I might have punched a few babies that day. There's a lot of diversity in this shot and a lot of variety, or in these shots, a lot of variety. Now, I will say that there's a lot of little things that can be cleaned up too within them. Like that last shot, go back to that previous shot. Like, I'm not a big fan of that Soraro sticking up there. Like, you can see it,
I
but
love
it go a little bit lower. Bring that Soraro out more. It's just kind of right there. But then the previous shot, and I know you got attachments to those cacti. The light trail, that little laser
I would have gotten rid
across,
of that for sure.
Take that guy out. And if we go back to the Badlands shot real fast. Sorry, that shot is a beautiful shot. That just makes me hurt. I feel like comparing this to the other shot, it's night and day, right? It's a fantastic shot. If we would have seen this one and this one by itself, awesome. But I think there could have been compositions better in this spot here. But overall, if you look at the variety of the portfolio and its entity, like it is it is a wonderful portfolio. And once again, going back to the diversity, that shot, that shot right there is fantastic. And that's one of those shots, again, kind of like what we started off on the last segment with just the rainbow shot and the Modest clouds. Like, this is one of those moments that I feel like many of us would overlook. It's a slight rainbow coming through a rain shaft. Yay, we've seen it 1,000 times, but the photographer is able to make something out of this. And it's.
I even noticed that you can even see, it looks like how the rock out here is wet from the rain, and that just adds so much more now that I actually look at that detail. Just lovely.
Yeah, it's a cool scene. And like, what I look for when I'm doing my portfolio reviews or critiques or judges, whatever, is that, hey, you put a beautiful, massive supercell in front of us. Most of us are going to go, okay, wide angle shot. But there's so much more to a storm. There's so much more complex and dynamic, and there's so many smaller details that to have the mindset of, hey, I'm going to focus in on this one little small space within a giant realm of chaos. That's a good situational awareness there.
Yeah, it was shot at 62 millimeters, which means that they were definitely not shooting wide. They picked this specific area at a tighter crop, tighter focal length, I should say, to shoot. And I do love that, because that's something that sometimes when I'd go out chasing and I would have my phone back in the day when it didn't have like wide angle and zoom and all that stuff, you're kind of stuck sometimes with what you had. And I would take a shot with my phone and later go, why didn't I take a shot with my camera at that focal length? And it was more like a 40 or 50 millimeter. And I find like sometimes that's harder to do out there. And so I love that this person took the time to do that. And obviously getting something totally different, which, we would say, is this really stormy? But you've got, we got the, looks like 2 fire tornado kind of things going on. This just wonderful. And it just shows a lot of diversity and variety in this. So congratulations. Exactly. Great year. There's definitely, like you said, little technical things and some editing, probably some things like that. I think this shot is great. I definitely probably would have cropped it like a 16:9 or something, just because I just don't know if it's all worth seeing all the city, but kudos, just what an amazing year. So, all right, and we'll go to our last one, who also has a fairly decent variety and spectacular scenes. And, I've seen this one from just 1 or 2 people. And it's one of those shots that I think is really easy to think that there's something wrong with the editing. And there may be, if my mouse doesn't wig out on me, there may be just a little bit of, some halos here on this horizon, which are very tough. But I've seen a few other people, shoot the storm, and it looked like this, like just insane, blobby downbursts and stuff. But overall, just a wonderful year.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the tornado shot very much. And I don't know, still today, the colors on the rainbow shot, they're a bit, we talked about it earlier, but we know they're a bit off. But I like the reflection in the foreground with this just dry grass grassy stuff on there. So, and the bold. So overall, I like this, and it's very much.
Agree, and I do like that pinkish kind of magenta glow on the field. It really picks it up. So
yeah.
I think this is when you, sorry, go ahead, Mike.
No, Mike, go ahead.
No, Mike, you go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, like, all these shots. No, Mike, you go ahead. No, all these shots are very well, composed and thought of. I think we talked about this one. It's one of those things that Mike, you mentioned a little bit ago about corners, and maybe this rock is a little distracting down there. And but the thing is these are the kind of shots that are almost impossible to get. It's a super bright daylit scene with intense light on this rainbow, and to actually get a lightning bolt with it, that's very, very difficult. Or getting landing points on mountains, that's also difficult while you're trying to compose something in the foreground there. Cool colors at sun's obviously super windy, so all this stuff is just blowing around and you're doing the best you can. And the tornado, I mean, to get who knows, they might have been rapid firing like I probably would have, but to get the tornado just making the bottom of that turbine half disappear this is like a 1 in a million kind of capture right there. So I think or at least I kind of thought I would crop this up a good ways, but otherwise just a wonderful year.
Yeah, this is a solid portfolio again, man. And then one thing I like about it when you look at it in grid view here is you can see there's diversity between compositions too. Tornado on the left side of the frame, lightning on the right side of the frame. You got centered up horizontal storms. You got vertical storms. You've got lightning on the right. You've got lightning hitting the mountains with the foreground. You've got rainbows and lightning. Like there's so much diversity here. That's awesome. And I think it's really well done. Small things, once again, as always, that can be adjusted. But yeah, I mean, this is really, really solid.
Sweet. Yeah, I agree. Great year. Congrats to to all 6 of you who made it this far, and the top 3 will be announced next week.